Hey Tiger fans, Ben Rosenbaum here from the Towson Sports Network, joined by head men's and women's swimming and diving coach Jake Shrum. Coach, thanks for taking a minute to talk to us today.
Absolutely.
So at this point in the season, about halfway through, a little over halfway through, the women at 4-2. We'll start with them. The next time they'll compete is on January 14th against Bowling Green. What are you looking for them out of that meet?
So as we go into our January meets, we're really looking to improve on where we were during our dual meet stretch during the fall. The first meet coming out of winter break is always a little bit of a challenge, but comparatively, this one's a little bit later than what a lot of other teams are doing. So I'm hoping that we can kind of get into our rhythm this week and be able to pick up where we left off during the fall, or maybe even be a little bit ahead in some places.
Emily Wilson and JC Ickert have had really nice years. Emily's gotten some CAA honors, and then at the Bucknell meet, Corey Morton had a really nice performance as well. You know, the three of them are setting the standard. What do they need to do to kind of go to that next level, and what are you looking from the rest of the team, too, to kind of follow their lead?
Yeah, well, so to follow the lead, it's really about kind of, the reason why those people have been so successful this year is because of how well they do on a regular basis in practice. So it's really about having the rest of our team kind of elevate up to that level, and then with those individuals, it's about trying to find that next thing. With Emily Wilson, it's about, controlling kind of where she is in the air a little bit more, maybe starting to learn a new dive or two. With the other two, we kind of have our goals for our practice sets, and it's about just kind of starting to get the next level with their goals.
And then on the men's side, 2 and 3, the next time they'll be in the pool, they'll have an inter-squad meet against Bowling Green, but the next time they'll see other school competition is on January 25th at Navy. That Navy meet, well, let's start with the inter-squad meet. What's the goal of an inter-squad meet? No official winner or loser, but what are you looking for there?
Same thing as any dual meet, really. I mean, with swimming and diving, it's kind of an odd thing where almost every team is really just focused on their finished meet, on their, conference championship. So really every meet that we do during the season is about getting ready for that one meet. So for inter-squad meet, it's really the same thing as any other dual meet. The one big thing is our senior meet. So we want to kind of, maybe have a little bit of fun in places with the seniors and kind of let them do some things maybe that they haven't got an opportunity to do a lot of during the year. But then it's just about kind of figuring out where we are and what we still need to improve on going into the year. I think with our guys right now, we're really looking at kind of what their third events are going to be at conferences and kind of figuring out our last kind of handful of conference spots.
And you guys are in a long break, obviously the inter-squad meet, but then you'll see the other competition, as I mentioned, on the 25th against Navy. It's one thing to race against your teammates in inter-squad, but when there's another team on the other side of the pool, how do you kind of have to ratchet up the intensity for that meet?
Yeah, Navy and Johns Hopkins are two really good, really strong men's teams. Johns Hopkins has been one of the best Division III teams for years. They just got a new coach, came over from Stanford. So I've talked to them some of the summer, and that they've already kind of been doing a great job. And then Navy's one of the best mid-major teams in the nation. So tons of, just knowing that there are other guys in the water that are really going to push our student athletes, that really takes care of most of it. As a coach, I really kind of try to stay out of the way almost, just make sure that they're doing what they need to do to get ready for their races. Generally, we race enough during practices where they kind of can almost do the same thing, where they can kind of just go in to autopilot, let themselves kind of feel out the water while they're doing their warm-ups, and then we'll talk some about race strategies in cases. But again, for where we are right now, and even then, that late in January, it's still kind of about getting ready for conferences.
Jack Saunderson, his name comes up almost all the time after every meet, whether it's CAAs or otherwise. What makes him special? What about him? He just seems to be able to really turn it on in big moments.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as with the girls. The way he trains butterfly specifically, and for the length that he can do really fast butterfly in practices is outstanding. A lot of that has to do with his consistencies underwater. He has a very low, just a great stroke that he can kind of carry on for an extended period of time. And so being able to do that, he trains really well to be able to do the 200 fly, to be able to have really good long course time. So the thing that we've really been working on with him is to be a little bit more explosive. And I think coming out of break, he's actually been really explosive. So it's kind of great to see that kind of already coming around now instead of, another month. So, I think he's going to, he's been fast, and I think he'll keep being fast.
And last question, not trying to jump ahead too far, but you've already announced your recruiting class for next season. Tell us a little bit about them. You've signed 8 Tigers for next year.
Yeah, so and that's not our full class. We actually have another official visit coming up next weekend. So we're looking to sign about another 2 to 3 people on each team. But we got a lot of our kind of needs that we wanted out of the way with this fall signing period. Carly Carminati is excellent distance swimmer. I think we're going to have we already have a very strong girls distance group, and it's just going to get even better with her, and then with Alex DiCamakos also. On the guys' side, Eric Nelson has been outstanding so far this fall, so we're looking for him to kind of fill the void that Dominic Bresci is going to leave when he graduates, and then both the divers have been having great years, Will Canny and Fiona. So we're pretty happy with how our fall signees are doing, and we're looking forward to adding a few more people to each team.
Coach, thanks for joining us, and
Absolutely.
good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tigers back in the pool on January 14th against Bowling Green. The women will be taking on Bowling Green, and the men will be inter-squad meet, as we mentioned, and their senior meet as well. For head coach Jake Shrum, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. As always, go Tigers.